Alrighty, just want to give y'all an update on this modified CB radio that now operates 10 meters. I took two screws out on the right hand side, and the whole top of the radio just kind of came off. Got pretty easy access to it. It's like the previous owner must have disconnected the wood so you can take two screws out and you get easy access to this chassis without having to remove this chassis from the wood cabinet here. So pretty neat. And here's what the inside looks like. See the power supply section there on the left, and then the digital frequency control in the middle, and then the old CB radio chassis on the far right. And here I see the power transformer with all of this white wire wrapped around it. Seems to be there to pick up a magnetic field around the transformer, and then that induces a current on the white wire, makes its way to this rectifier device right here in the middle of the screen, and then from there to another device with some capacitors around it. It's labeled 7812. That is I know from experience that's a 12 volt regulator, so maybe 15 volts is hitting it, knocks it down to 12 volt. Ultimately, all that's just there to power that 12 volt fan right there. And then here we see under all that silver material there, that's the board, a little microprocessor that generates the frequency for the radio. And it's got a power plug going into it on the left hand side, and some kind of board right here with this one IC chip and this blue variable device. I have no idea what that's even for. But at any rate, there's a silver cable there that goes to the front display. And then on the CB radio board itself, seeing some engineering that seems to have been done here. I see two relays along with some additional components and various wires. I have no idea what all that's for at this point. I don't know when the radio goes into transmit if it has to tell the CPU to change frequencies for transmit, or exactly what's happening there. But in any case, well, not too worried about all that. We've got some interesting things here to look at. Clearly, somebody spent a lot of time putting all this together. And some more detailed pictures here of the CB radio board. And there's another fan under there. And there's like more relays and more stuff happening there as well. But in any case, my main focus, I was curious about why I can't tune. When I grab that knob there and try to turn, I wasn't able to adjust the frequency. There is a lock button, which kind of got my attention. When I got in here, I noticed this lock button seems to be in a weird location. So I tried to move it around and it fell apart right in my hand. So yeah, what that lock button's probably trying to do is you can push that and it will effectively disable that knob that I'm trying to turn. Encoder is what that's called. When you turn that knob, it sends data to the microprocessor and it knows you're trying to tune. And that's typical of all these ICOM, Yaesu, Kenwood type of radios. HR 2510 and 2600, they'll operate the same kind of way. So in any case, I went ahead and pulled the data sheet for this optical encoder. I see the part number right here on it, and right here you can see the pinout connections. And in any case, doing some research, and I realized that yes, in fact, that lock button, or switch really, connects at 5 volts to this optical encoder. And so when you push it a certain way, it disables the encoder. So when you turn the knob in front of the radio, nothing happens. I went ahead and have removed that failed switch with all the pieces. So see all these pieces right here? Anyway, I removed that failed switch and connected those two wires together without the lock switch even being there anymore. And I got a little video clip here I'll show you, and I'll show you what happened when I did that. Well, I got it turned on, and let me show y'all something. It does tune now. Look at this. And of course it tunes both ways, up and down the band. So it is tuning now, which is something I could not do before. But just by joining those two wires together and eliminating the switch that failed, or effectively bypassing this lock switch here, yeah, it's working great now. And yay, it does seem to work. I can tune around now, so that's nice. 10 meters has been totally dead here on the East Coast. But I did manage to hear some sideband talk very briefly. By the time I got the camera ready, the band shut down and lost them. But I did hear some activity on 28470. I did manage to hear some CW in the CW part of the band. It's a CW beacon that I received, and the call sign was N4WLO. And this N4WLO Morse code beacon is a station over in the state of Alabama, and I'm in the East Coast, so it's a few states away. Play a little video here, you can see how that sounded. And you can tell the band's trying to go away even in that Morse code recording there. But in any case, I think the radio actually is working. It really is. I think it's receiving and everything. So at least now I can tune around and become usable. So for now, I'm going to just put it back together. Hurry up and wait till 10 meter opens up again and try to get some actual on the air, attempt to do some transmitting myself and see what this thing will really do. But no doubt, this is definitely a one of a kind radio. You're not going to see one of these things around. In any case, until 10 meters opens again, we'll pull this out and see what I can do with it.